anything knowing that I got myself. And all my enemies wishing that I shot myself dead. On the bed, clothes covered in red. Not myself, I'm not myself. Headed into anything knowing that I got myself. And all my enemies wishing that I shot myself dead.
What is up, y'all? Mike and Phil. About to do a little early preview for UFC Nashville. We got Derrick Lewis and Tallison Teixeira headlining. Heavyweight headliners. Card is pretty sneaky up and down. We're just going through it, talking about our thoughts, this and that and the third. Me and Nick will still have a little betting breakdown next week, but we wanted to get after it on a no UFC week. How are you doing today, Phil?
I'm chilling. I watched Jurassic World early today. I give it like a nice 6 out of 10. Decent film. I will say, if you watch the trailer, like all the trailers, you watch the movie. So you're gonna expect something different from the trailers. You're not.
A little
what about you,
Mike?
What about you, Mike?
I'm good, man. I did some running around. Went to work, off work. Happy to relax. Finally moved my mom. So. Sigh of relief. Tomorrow's 4th of July. We got a big party. About to shoot some hoops. So it's about to be a good weekend.
Yeah, I really had nothing planned for the 4th of July.
I haven't
no plans at all.
The last few years I haven't done shit, but my buddy, he throws a party every year, and it's been going on for some years now. He gets a shit ton of fireworks. He rigs it all himself. They have, a bunch of activities, food, and then later in the night, a big fireworks show, and I haven't gone the last couple of years. So I'm definitely gonna pop out tomorrow. We're gonna get tan. We're gonna get some good food. So I'm excited.
My buddy's hosting a 4th of July party. I'm debating on going, but the thing is, his crib is in the hood. So I was like, am I hearing fireworks or gunshots?
Right, you got to be careful out there.
Yeah, so I don't know, man, but all I know is there's no UFC this weekend, so we thought we get a little something, nice little preview with your boy Mike and Phil. So I guess we'll get right into it, which is UFC Nashville. Derrick Lewis versus Tallison Teixeira. What do you think about this main event, first of all?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it shows where the UFC is standing in terms of the heavyweight division right now. They're desperate for contenders. They've been doing it with multiple fighters as of late. Like, as we've seen, Martin Buday and Waldo Cortez Acosta have climbed their way to the rankings. They didn't really have to climb very much, though. In terms of strength of schedule, obviously, Waldo Cortez is on a different trajectory now after getting a win over top 7. But, this is what we're seeing. Okay, Tallison Teixeira, he's 8-0, 100% finish rate. And he looks like he could have some promising skills. We need contenders horribly. So we're going to give him a high-ranked guy and see if he passes the test. Risky move because they're giving him the one-shot killer, Derrick Lewis. But I think it'll be entertaining. I mean, Derrick Lewis isn't necessarily high volume or anything. He's typically low volume, wait for the perfect shot kind of guy. And on the other hand, Tallison Teixeira, what is he, 6'8"? I mean, he could.
He's first of all, he's only 25 years old, which is a young heavyweight. Very young, actually. He's 6'7", obviously over 260 pounds. And all his wins by finishes, 7 knockouts, 1 submission. So this guy's fun. You can see why the UFC wants to push him. I actually watched him on an LFA, so it was kind of cool to see him get called up to the Contender Series and then get in, his first of all, he wins his Contender Series by a first round knockout, and then he finishes Justin Tafa in the first round, and all of a sudden he's in the main event. The UFC is desperate for heavyweights right now. So if Tallison Teixeira wins, don't be surprised they freaking shoot him up the rankings just because they need somebody for Tom,
Yeah, I'm not super surprised. Or I won't be super surprised if Tallison Teixeira is able to, avoid power shots. He is such a lengthy striker, the way I could see it going down. Obviously it's 5 rounds. I will be surprised if it goes to a decision, but I feel like Tallison Teixeira might be able to establish his range early and, kind of just pick Derrick Lewis apart. And if Derrick Lewis doesn't get going, which we have seen in the past where, he's kind of getting pieced up at range. I'm not going to compare Teixeira to Gane, but, I keep keep it at long range. Don't let you, close in on me and land that big shot. Avoid, clinching. Tallison Teixeira could even fuck him up in the clinch. I don't know. I mean, Derrick Lewis is getting older. I know that matters less at the heavier divisions, but Tallison Teixeira to me seems like a promising young prospect. And will he get past the kill shot? I would probably lean yes. I have a feeling he's probably a massive favorite though, and I have bet on Derrick Lewis every single time he's probably ever fought in the UFC, including against Gane, against Pavlovich, against Volkov, he actually won against Volkov, but even against Ty when he lost, I was picking him every time just because of that equalizer and the power.
How do you feel about heavyweights still being in main events nowadays? Like, do you feel like they deserve to be like there should be a main event with heavyweights in them?
I guess it depends. This main event isn't necessarily like as a fight. I feel like it's a pretty decent fight. The only thing is outside of like the hardcore fans, I don't think anybody knows who Tallison Teixeira is. So maybe that they're trying to, get him a big name. UFC Nashville in front of a crowd against a big name like Derrick Lewis, the Black Beast, most knockouts in UFC history. He can build a name off of Derrick Lewis. I can see why they would do it in this instance, but personally, heavyweight hasn't moved me for some time,
Yeah.
I feel like it just used to be a lot more violent and high pace. Maybe I'm just tripping and my memory's off, but I feel like it used to be a lot like more savage, and now it's kind of slow and sluggish and sloppy, and a lot less finishes than we used to see. I feel like a lot of really slow, like just kind of difficult to watch fights. I'm not trying to hate, but it's certainly the weakest division in the UFC.
Next to women's bantamweight, right? The two heavies, the weight divisions for each gender.
Yeah, we need more flyweight main events. That's all I'm gonna say.
Not in the Apex either, because I think they deserve to be in a crowd, like especially like when you have like Josh Van and freaking Brandon Royale freaking going crazy in that last fight. Woo! Imagine that shit was 5 rounds.
Yeah, that's what I tell my boys. I'm like, y'all need it because a lot of people they're not super into it. Of course they enjoy it. They're like, oh, I want to see the heavyweights, and I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, these little motherfuckers at 125. They're insane, bro. When you get a good matchup, of course, like we saw with Van and Royval, I think the 125ers deserve more respect. I feel like it's a division like they're trying to push heavyweights, of course, they're trying to push the bigger fighters, but I wish they kind of, threw more respect on a flyweights name, and we got to see some more of those. And of course, when it is a co-main slot, it's Pantoja, who's just gonna wrestle fuck and find a submission potentially. When we should be having Josh Van could highlight a card in a lot of places, and that place would probably sell out.
Freaking, what's it called? Tallison Teixeira is actually the betting favorite on DraftKings against Derrick Lewis.
What is he, 3-1?
Minus 280.
Steep.
Now, I don't know if the odds are for like the over and under is up, which is probably not. And what do you think the over and under is? Like 2.5?
I would say 1.5. Over under 1.5 for sure. If I would be surprised if the over under is 2.5, that thing's gonna get hammered, and I guarantee it changes. If you catch it over under 2.5, because it's Derrick Lewis. He has been to decisions before, but if Derrick Lewis wins, it's probably going to be in the first round, and we're going against a guy who has all finishes, usually earlier in the fight as well. Shout out Jack. Shout out McNasty MMA. Derrick Lewis.
What up, Jack?
I'm inclined to agree with you.
You think so? I don't know, man. The thing is with Derrick Lewis, you just can't trust him, right? You don't know which Derrick Lewis is going to show up, right? He might just blast you in the first round, or he just might, stand there, look at you, and then will try to swing. I don't know. He's just so inconsistent, to be honest. Can't really trust him to blast somebody in the first round anymore.
It's true, but at the same time, if you're looking at an almost 3-1 favorite, Tallison Teixeira, his only UFC fight coming against Justin Tafa, who, not that Derrick Lewis is well-rounded, but Justin Tafa is not, the highest caliber guy. And Derrick Lewis does have a lot of experience with all the best fighters the heavyweight division has seen in recent years. And, if they're throwing Derrick Lewis at plus 220 or something like that, I think, it's a reasonable dog shot to take. I wouldn't, if somebody was like, yeah, I'm going to bet on Derrick Lewis, I wouldn't say anything about it. I'd be like, shit, good luck. He might get a knockout,
Yeah, Derrick Lewis is actually still ranked number 9, so he's still top 10. And like, if Tallison Teixeira like smokes him, I can see him very moving up to like number 8 because Sergey Spivak just lost too. So like, Tallison Teixeira could easily take that spot. To be honest, Tallison doesn't have the experience. He's never been past the first round. I could be wrong, but I think Derrick wins. To be honest, I'm not against you. To be honest, because like Mike said, it's Derrick Lewis, bro. Like, anytime he's an underdog, I'm still taking him regardless. Like, I don't care how big of the odds are because I learned my lesson with Curtis Blades. Like, he smoked him in the second round. Remember that uppercut he landed on him?
Yeah,
bro. And like he was like a plus 380 underdog.
I mean, that's what I tell people. I remember when he was going up against. So this actually was the last leg of a parlay that made me like 3 bands, and it was against was it Rodrigo Nascimento or Marcos Rogerio?
Oh, dude, I remember you covered that fight, and I got the notification at the movie theaters, and it was like, "Yo, he came back in the third and knocked him out."
Yeah, bro. He. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. No, but the one before that, he had, I think it was Rogerio de Lima, and Derrick Lewis was a plus 180, and I had him by knockout. It was like plus 220 or something. It was the last leg of a parlay to win like 2.5K, and Derrick Lewis comes out gate like Jorge Masvidal and lands a flying knee and ends up scoring the knockout as a plus 180 underdog. People were asking me, how are you betting on Derrick Lewis? I was like, bro, I bet on Derrick Lewis against Sergey Pavlovich. You're telling me I'm not about to bet on him now against a 39-year-old? Come on now. This is a little different. Obviously, we have a young, very lengthy, well-rounded. I mean, McNasty has a point. That motherfucker wins every fight in the first round. You know, if he doesn't get Derrick Lewis out in the first round, what happens?
That's right. But, it's heavyweight, so you never know. Anything could happen, right? Derrick Lewis could struggle against the guy who's 6'7". I mean, he didn't really struggle. I mean, Derrick Lewis had a hard time against Volkov until he landed the Hail Mary, right?
That was crazy, bro. I remember exactly. Yo, that was crazy, bro.
The top 5 moment, like, as a fan.
And we were at the crib, bro. Because Derrick Lewis, we all wanted Derrick Lewis to win, obviously. And my buddy actually looks a lot like Alex Volkov, so he's rooting for Alex Volkov. We're like, I remember it was like 35 seconds left in the fight, and I was like, he's gonna have to go for it here, or he loses. And then 5 seconds later, boom, puts him out.
Dude, that card was insane. Honestly, I'm gonna look back at that.
Wasn't Khabib and Conor on that joint?
Yeah, dude. And then I believe it was Cyborg and Nunes as the co-main event.
Yeah, that shit was a banger. We had hella people
I lied.
watching that one.
So here's the main event. It was Khabib and Conor. I mean, honestly, this like fight card, just because Conor and Khabib were fighting, it kind of excelled. Like, I mean, yeah, excelled Derrick Lewis to like mainstream star kind of at that time because he hit that that signature post fight interview. My balls are hot. So everybody just knew who Derrick Lewis. Dude, I had him out like my casual friend just hit me up. Yo, when's Derrick Lewis fighting again? I fucking love that guy. Is he gonna be on Joe Rogan? Yada yada. The co-main event in this card was actually Tony Ferguson and Anthony Pettis. So that was actually a pretty good card, in my opinion.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Vicente Luque, Jalen Turner. Actually, the rest of the card's kind of ass, but I'm like looking at some of the fights. You know what? I take back what I said because I remember the Derrick Dominic Reyes and OSP fight. That fight was trash. Michelle Waterston versus Felice Herrig.
I like Michelle Waterson, bro. I always did. I always have karate hottie.
Let's get to what else I want to look in this card.
But I did say last week, earlier this week, I said Mystic Mac prediction, Tallison to share my sub. If that shit's like plus 1,200 or higher, that's worth the sprinkle, man.
What's Steve Garcia and Calvin Kattar's the people's main event, dude. This should have been the main event right here. I don't care what anybody says. Give me 5 rounds of this too, bro. I can see it just straight up boxing fight, to be honest. 4 rounds boxing match. What do you think about this?
Steve Garcia and Calvin Kattar? I have a weird feeling, bro. Sometimes I go against my gut and I'm wrong. Like I'll like have a feeling and I'm like, well, I feel like I should probably just pick this guy, and I kind of talk myself into it and then I make the wrong pick. So this week I'm just going with my gut, and I fucking love Steve Garcia, and I kind of hope he wins, but I mean, I just have a feeling Calvin Kattar is going to be too clean. And Steve Garcia, he turns fights into chaos. and he does really well in the chaos. But Calvin Kattar is a very technical striker. I feel like he's good at keeping range. If Steve Garcia rushes forward, I feel like he'll be able to circle around, get in, get out, and just kind of piece him up like he did to Josh Emmett. And Josh Emmett was a very, very frightening striker as well. He battered Josh Emmett's face, got absolutely robbed when it went to a decision. So who knows if it goes to a decision? I could see them still giving it to Steve Garcia, even if he has a bloody face, because Calvin Kattar just pops, pop, 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 jab, move, and then you see on the other side Garcia winging bombs and landing on the arms. It just looks more violent, you know.
It's
I
kind
do
of crazy.
think I feel like someone wins by finish in this fight, though. I feel like Calvin Kattar, because Steve Garcia's chin can get touched, man, and he gets hurt a lot, and he always ends up winning, but he gets hurt.
I don't think he's ever been finished at lightweight, right?
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he doesn't get finished. He got finished at lightweight by Mahashate, I believe, but
But that was
in
on short
featherweight,
notice too, I believe.
yeah, he hasn't been finished in featherweight, but he's been hurt multiple times, and then he survives and wins. But Calvin Kattar is a guy that you don't want to let hurt you because he's, you know, at the end of the day, he's a killer himself. He's probably 37 now.
Calvin Kattar is 37. Yeah, you're correct. He just turned 37 this year.
Yeah, I don't know. Something's telling me Calvin Kattar is going to be too clean for him, bro. This is a weird matchup to give Steve Garcia. Kind of. What rank is Calvin Kattar now? 7?
Is he even ranked at this point?
That would be crazy if he wasn't.
Because if you look at it, right, Steve Garcia's won 5 of his last 6. Calvin Kattar's lost 5 of his last 6.
He's lost 5 of his last 6. Arnold Allen, Aljo, Max,
Emmett.
That was bullshit. He beat Giga.
So Kattar is, dude, he's still ranked 14, which is kind of crazy.
14. Okay, I guess that is a good fight. I mean, I don't know. I guess I must have thought he was higher ranked or something, but I mean, fuck. Steve Garcia is not even that young, is he? How old is this motherfucker? Hold on.
Dude, I've been watching him since he was in Bellator when he fought Joe Warren.
He's 33. He has a 3-inch reach advantage, 3-inch height advantage.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I think a lot of people are going to take Steve Garcia because he's been smoking dudes, bro. Because all his last 5 wins have all been what? Under 3 rounds. Actually, under 2 rounds, actually.
5 straight knockouts, right?
Yeah, Kyle Nelson, Song Woo Choi. How do you pronounce his name? The guy with the skin condition?
Oh, Melquizael Costa.
Yeah, there you go.
With the skin condition. Dude, I have that same skin condition. That's my boy.
What up, big Unk?
My vitiligo, bro. He KO'd Mel Costa. Yeah, I was surprised that he beat Mel Costa. Hooper, dude, I gotta say,
The Hooper one was nasty.
When Steve Garcia fought Chase Hooper was a minus 280 favorite. And I was telling all my boys, I was like, Chase Hooper is the lock of the week. He's a parlay piece. I'm telling you, he's about to smoke this dude. And he got put out so fucking bad in like a minute and a half. I remember I was watching it and I had a lot of money on that fight. And I was just looking at it like, please survive. He's just getting knocked silly, bro. I like Steve Garcia, man. I hope he wins.
I do too. You know who actually put me on Steve Garcia? Like, actually made me into a fan. It was Ro. So Ro was doing the stats for CST, right? He's like, dude, let's make a stat graphic, right? He's like, dude, he was like, can I do a stats for the hardest hitters in the UFC?
My boy made that list.
So then he put I think he had Steve Garcia like 8 or 9. And I was like, Steve Garcia? He's like, dude, don't sleep on Steve Garcia. He has like some of the most knockdowns in the UFC. And ever since I wasn't sure about him, like he convinced me, like, dude, he won 5 straight knockouts. I'm all right, bro. You got me. I'm a Garcia fan now.
Yeah, for me, I actually just checked his shirt dog to see when it was. When he fought Charlie Ontiveros was when I started following him. He seemed well-rounded. He was a savage. The Charlie Ontiveros guy wasn't great, but he was having success in the striking, and Steve Garcia was able to use a little bit of wrestling. He was able to survive some interesting spots that he got himself in. And then I actually was kind of paying attention to him after that fight. And of course, he gets blasted by Mahashate. And then he kills Chase Hooper. With Nerd Becky, he got hit. He got hurt bad, and then he ended up finishing him. Melquizael Costa surprised me. And then Sung Woo Choi and Nelson, I've been all in on him since then. So, yeah, Steve Garcia, maybe he puts Kattar's lights out. Has Kattar been knocked out anytime recently?
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't
Actually,
even
I'm
know.
actually
He's been knocked out once, and that was a knee injury. So he's never been finished.
so I looked at the average, right? The knockdown average per 15 minutes, which is a minimum of 5 UFC fights. Steve Garcia is actually number 7. He's chilling at number 7. Above him is Sergey Pavlovich, Todd Duffy, Manuel Torres, Chris Dawkins, and Tom Aspinall. And number 1 is Drew McFurries. I've heard that name for so long. And then right behind Steve Garcia is like Gene Silva, Shane Carwin, and Carlos Prates. So he's in good company, to be honest.
Yeah, he be smoking people.
Now, beat this out
Commentating.
off topic, but Josh Van is number 1 in strikes landed per minute, which is
Yeah,
almost
fuck
9,
yeah, dude.
almost 9 shots per minute.
God, Steve Garcia, 17 wins, 14 by way of knockout on a 5-fight win streak, all by knockout, 3 of which coming in the first round.
Big Ong says
He has a
Kattar
good
and Garcia's even odds now.
He has a good win over Chepe Mariscal, dude. I think Chepe's a fucking beast, bro.
Who?
Chepe.
Garcia?
No, Chepe. He beat Chepe.
Oh, he knocked him on LFA.
Yeah, bro. Which that's an impressive win. Obviously, Jose Mariscal has improved a lot since then, but I think Chepe will beat either of these guys right now. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know. Steve Garcia is like, he has the most random losses. Like, dude, he used to fight a bantamweight, believe it or not. Dude, he used to Ricky Tercios, Joe Warren, and then he fought Alon Cruz, and then has lost to Luis Pena, and then Machete. And then he's been smoking guys left and right.
He really does. And Ronnie Lawrence wins pretty impressive because Ronnie Lawrence is a pretty solid wrestler. So
I feel like he could take Kattar just because, like, we were saying about Derrick Lewis, he has more experience, right? I mean, Steve Garcia is old too, so he's not like no young chicken either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something's telling me Kattar's gonna win, bro. I don't know.
I feel like
so
I
quick.
feel like what's that term that people like to say nowadays? Fraud check, I guess.
That'll be nuts if somebody calls that as a fraud check because Calvin Kattar's good, man. I mean, losing 5 out of his last 6 fights is crazy, but you got to think the Josh
Zalal, Sterling.
Yeah, Yusuf Zalal is good though. He's fucking.
I know. I ain't saying he's scrub. Even Eli Tapori couldn't finish him.
Yeah. And Kattar should have beat Emmett. He got hurt against Arnold Allen, so easily. I mean, not that he would have beat Arnold Allen, but I actually picked him in that fight as well. And of course, he tore his ACL or whatever.
Josh Van having that stay while being shorter than the shorter guy 9% of the time is wild. Dude, honestly, I believe Josh Van could be a strawweight. Like, if there was a strawweight division, like, that's Josh Van's division right there.
And nobody would touch him. I don't even know what other guys. Maybe Loney Kavanaugh could be in that division as well.
I feel like there's a lot of smaller guys that could definitely drop down. And the UFC would never do that just because, like, there's not even a men's strawweight in the U.S. anywhere, really. Unless you're, like, going to one or, like, somewhere in Asia, right? I mean, it's kind of funny that, Josh Van is Asian, so he is that small. Typically, you would see men's, like, strawweight in Asia, like Japan, Indonesia, and stuff, Singapore and all that. So, but he's going to be fighting for the flyweight title, so happy for him. Nate the Train is going to win too. What's that line he likes to say?
Nate the Train in the UFC?
No. It was like, if I don't get knocked out, something like that. What was that line?
And he was like, you better knock me out. Or he's like, knock me out if you can because I'm beating your ass or some shit like that. He's good on the mic. He's like, I'm the roughest, toughest, buckest mother runaway. And I can fight pretty damn good too, baby. Well, Nate looked bad versus Choi, but Choi's actually pretty good. And Choi wasn't really wrestling. He wasn't wrestling. He wasn't really striking. He wasn't giving Nate Landwehr a chance to fight, really. And I don't see Morgan Charriere being able to pin Nate Landwehr to the ground like Choi was able to do.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't lose, I'm probably going to win.
Exactly. That's a bar.
Yeah, I love Nate Landwehr, man. He's the type of guy that, and he's not super young. He's probably 36 now. He's a guy that, like, if he had what it takes, man, he would be just such an amazing champion for the sport. Like, he's really good on the mic. He fights in a very entertaining fashion. Like, a couple years ago, I was even like, man, if Nate Landwehr could ever become a champion, he's like the exact type of fighter that the fans deserve to have with that belt. Obviously, it doesn't always work like that, but he is certainly, he embodies what it is to be a fighter.
Honestly, I see that dude in BKFC. He just
Dude,
looks like a BKFC fighter.
yeah, man, he's a tough motherfucker. I'm sure he would fit right in.
Dude, he'll fit in with a BK like in Alabama or something, wherever he's from. Where is he from?
I think he's from out. He might be from Tennessee.
Tennessee. There you go. It fits. BKFC
Yeah.
Tennessee. They go to what's it called? Memphis, Tennessee, right? BK Memphis. I mean, he's fighting Morgan Charriere. What do you think
We
about
skipped
that
one,
one?
didn't we?
Yeah, we'll get back to it.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll get back to it. Fuck him. Morgan Charriere versus Nate Landwehr. Oh, God, Nate Landwehr's 37 now. 1 inch height advantage, 3 inch reach advantage. I mean, Morgan Charriere packs a punch, that's for sure, but he also loses to bad fighters.
He lost to Chepe.
I mean, Chepe is good as fuck, though. I don't hold that against him. Or Nathaniel Wood.
I mean,
he also
honestly,
lost to
if you look at
George
Morgan,
Vucenic. I mean, he has
they're not
actually some
bad
of his-
losses.
Yeah, some of his losses are pretty solid.
The Saladin Parnas, 2 division
beat-
champion KSW.
He beat William Gomi.
Hey, am I tripping? Does it say Alexei Olenek?
I literally was just about to say that. So he has a win over a heavyweight contender.
There's no way. Nah. It's a
Nah, of
Ukrainian
course
dude.
not.
They
George
just have the same
Vucenic,
name.
Paul Hughes. I mean, his last 4 wins are pretty damn good, or his last 4 losses. But look at his wins, though, dude. Look at the guys that he's beating. Like, Nate Landwehr's
Soren
not-
Bach isn't bad either. He like disappeared from freaking from MMA. So he's like one of the dudes that like beat Patty Pimblett, Morgan, Bobby Lee, and a bunch of other like regional guys in Europe. But dude, he hasn't fought for like 3 years already. Last time the Soren Bach fought was May 6th, 2022 for Bellator.
I mean, outside of Nate Landwehr being old and he has a susceptible chin. He recovers well, but he gets hurt. I mean, Dan Ige couldn't knock him out. Also, shout out Big Onk MMA and Kung Fu Kami.
Yes,
if you guys are
sir.
in here, if you haven't thrown one down, throw a like down for the boys. You already know.
So some love, boys.
Wood is really good, and his last loss to Naimov was kind of, I don't want to say robbery, kind of a robbery. Naimov was cheating all over the place. There were some pretty big moments where if he hadn't grabbed the cage or hadn't, hooked the glove, like it could have, played more into Nathaniel Wood's favor. Looking at the lineup, it's definitely going to be one of the cards of all time. This card actually kind of has a couple bangers on it, though, to be honest.
I might miss it. I don't know what the start time is.
I think
6
it's
o'clock,
It's
6:30 p.m. for us. Because dude, I'm gonna go watch Superman next week.
This one starts at 6 p.m. I'm gonna hesitantly go with Nate Landwehr. I feel like there's a chance Morgan Charriere could knock him out, but
I think Morgan can win, man. He's been there with some dogs, man.
he has, but he loses to the dogs, and his
Yeah,
wins
but,
aren't
like-
that impressive.
Yeah, but his losses, like, come on.
I mean,
Paul
the losses
Hughes?
are good, but you know what I'm saying? Like, Nick always says this. Like, he's like, yeah, he has good losses, but he lost. Like, the guys that were good that he fought, he lost to. And then, of course, he beats Gabriel Miranda in a fight that was closer than it probably should have been.
I mean, he knocked him out, right? He got the job done, right?
Yeah, in the second round after some scary moments. I mean, Nate Landwehr is pretty decent. Also, Charriere doesn't get finished. He got subbed once, and that was by heel hook, I think, from Chepe. Oh no, he won it. He won by heel hook.
That's low key a fight of the night too.
Who the fuck subbed him? Oh, he got subbed 10 years ago.
Oops.
This could easily be the fight of the night. If Morgan Charriere is willing to go into the fire with Nate Landwehr, they're gonna fucking put on a show.
I
Nate
thought it was
Landwehr.
This is one of them cards. If you know, you know. You know what I mean? This one's gonna be a good one.
Nate Landwehr does have 3 knockout losses.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And then Morgan's got 12 knockout wins. Like, come on.
I don't want to see Nate Landwehr lose to this guy.
You're just a big Nate fan, bro. That's what you are, bro.
I know. I mean, realistically,
You just tell me. I hope he could be a champion one day. Yeah, reset.
Dude, there was a time where I was hopeful for that. I was like, we deserve it. He's gonna beat Dan Ige, and then he's gonna step up into the contender picture. And as we saw, he wasn't able
if we're
to.
looking at the odds right now, Jesus, Morgan's a minus 258 favorite.
See, that doesn't inspire me. I mean, he could probably but his knockout prop's not available yet either. That's guaranteed.
I know. If it was
maybe if
this weekend, we could have looked at it.
It could be. I mean, Nate Landwehr's got knocked out by some bad dude. He got knocked out by Herbert Burns. Julian Rose is pretty good. And then outside of that, he hasn't been knocked out. Oh, who the fuck else knocked out? Duo Choi TKO'd him, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like a knockout, but like, he just put him in a crucifix and just rained elbows on him.
Oh man, and Charriere is pretty durable. I guess I'll have to pick Charriere.
Yeah, I mean that's my betting. That's my bet right there.
Yeah, getting knocked out by Herbert Burns is a very bad look. But to be fair, though, there was a time where Herbert Burns was a one-round killer. He was very good in the first round.
The thing with Herbert Burns' career, he got stalled because of one championship, because they held him hostage. Because he left their Chachi's gym in Singapore to go back home, I think, and Chachi got pissed and shadow banned him from one, and then he finally got released. So yeah, sucks for Herbert Burns, man. He got his career stalled in fucking one championship. I mean, he lost to some solid guys in one, so I ain't gonna hold him against him. But we got to get back to the co-main event. We can actually skip that one, which is Gabriel Bonfim versus Wonder Boy. I don't know if I still get excited for Wonder Boy fights, man. To be honest,
I'm excited.
Dude's 42, man. I mean, at this point in his career, that dude should be in karate combat. To be honest.
Yeah, but I mean, he hasn't really taken much damage over the course of his career. Obviously, he got knocked out by Joaquin Buckley, and then years ago, he got knocked out by Pettis. I remember that was a fight I was hyping up to my boys. I was like, you guys gotta watch Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He's an absolute fucking demon of a striker. We're gonna watch this fight. It's gonna be so sick. And he just gets fucking super, Showtime punched off the fence.
What up, fool?
He did decent against Shavkat. I mean,
MMA fools in the building.
Shout out MMA Fools, sent Wonderboy to KC. I mean, if he loses to Bonfim, who knows? We could see him in karate combat sometime soon. He would run shit in karate combat.
Dude, he lost 4 fights out of his last 5.
I mean, you look at who he's fighting, though. He's fighting Joaquin Buckley, Shavkat Rakhmonov, Kevin Holland, Bilal Muhammad, Gilbert Burns, beat Jeff Neal, beat Vicente Luque.
Hey, fool, if you want to come on, let me know.
Knocked out Robert Whittaker back in his heyday, bro. I mean, you would think that there's a very clear path to victory for Gabriel Bonfim, and that would be get the fight to the ground. He's a very fast starter. Close the distance, get the fight to the ground, and look for a submission. As we saw 2 fights ago, Wonderboy Thompson was submitted. Obviously, it was by Shavkat, but same time, 42 years old against what? Gabriel Bonfim's got to be 29 probably.
God damn, I'm looking at the odds right now. Bonfim is a minus 360 favorite.
That's disrespectful. He is 17-1 though. 27 years old. Wonderboy's takedown defense against Shavkat was low-key kind of incredible for the age difference there based on how Shavkat was fighting at the time.
Yeah.
It's not easy to take Wonderboy down. That's for certain.
Bonfim lost to Nicholas Dalby, but he gassed out, man. He gassed out in that fight. That's why he got finished in the second round. I put money on Dalby that fight because he's the Brazilian killer.
You told me that, bro. You told me that before the fight. He was a massive underdog. That was an incredible snipe. And I'm looking at the fight. I'm like, yo, he's getting his ass beat, bro. And then he just finishes Bonfim. That was probably.
That was a call.
I don't know about your other calls. I don't know if you've ever made some insane calls, but that was a fucking incredible one.
I think that's when I actually try, when I actually study. When I don't study, I just kind of just bullshit my picks. But when I actually do go deep with it, I can call the rounds too. I remember it was the Jamal Hill Glover Teixeira card. Dude, I studied for a whole week on that card. I nailed the round props too, bro. I remember it was Jelton Almeida versus that Russian guy. Forgot his name, bro. He had the receding hairline. He was bald in the middle. The one that lost to Derrick Lewis in the 4th round. and you
Oh,
take him north.
the guy with the
Shamil
bullet
something.
wound, or like the stab wound in his stomach.
I think so, bro. But like, I remember that card specifically, just because I was like, "Yo, I'm locked in. I know what I want." I had like a 6-pick parlay and I lost by 1. It was because the RoboCop got knocked out by Bruno Ferreira.
I did not see that one coming, bro.
Yeah, but back to that one, I said Jelton Almeida is gonna win by second round TKO. I nailed that one because he was like, "Dude, the Shamil dude was good enough not to get finished by Jelton in the first round." So he's going to hang on to the second round. Jansen's going to get sick of his submission not working, so he's just going to ground and pound him, which exactly happened. And then I had Gilbert Burns first round submission against Neil Magny. And I was like, he's like, bro, Gilbert Burns hasn't got a submission win in a while. I'm like, dude, Neil Magny always gets submitted by like those elite BJJ guys. And like he just got submitted in the first round. I said Gilbert Burns first round submission. Nailed that one. I had a couple other ones too. Like I said, Jamal Hill money line. That was pretty easy against Glover. I had Brandon Moreno finishing Figgy by TKO. Nailed that one. I didn't get the round. I just put Brandon Moreno by TKO. But the thing that killed me was the Bruno Ferreira knocking out RoboCop. So that shit can hurt my soul that night because I had like 2 racks on the fucking line.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, one of the main reasons why I stopped gambling. But anyways, let's not get into that one. Bonfim, his last 2 wins are against Ange Lusa and Chaos Williams. Dude, he submitted Chaos Williams with a Darce choke, bro. That was pretty sick. Put him to sleep, I think.
Yeah, that was brutal, dude.
It says technical Darce choke on Tapology.
Yeah, he slept him.
Mm-hmm. And then Wonder Boy, dude, he's retired. Dude, he's lost to Buckley, 3rd round KO. He got slept bad. He got choked out by Shafkat. And then he beat Kevin Holland in a fun fight. But it's Kevin Holland, in my opinion. I don't really hold that win high nowadays.
Well, Kevin Holland should have won that fight too, bro. He broke his hand in the first round, and then even once he had Wonder Boy on the ground, shelled up, literally on his side, curled up fetal position, he could have just rained down elbows. And because he's a man of his word and he said he wasn't going to go to the ground, he just stands back up with a compromised dominant hand. So that was negative IQ on Kevin Holland's part. Actually, I'm still pretty high on Kevin Holland, all things considered.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think you got to rethink that one. But yeah, of course you got an investment on him.
It's funny how often Kevin Holland and Johnny Walker get brought up for me to be showing those cards.
I feel like you get the worst cards from Josh's like giveaways and stuff like that.
I thought it was perfect that I was eligible to do that giveaway, and I ended up winning it. And it's like 2 of my favorite fighters. Kevin Holland is one of my favorite fighters of all time. Say what you want about him as a serious fighter, but he's the most active fighter in UFC history. He's willing to fight anybody. He's the only person in UFC history who truly means anyone, anywhere, anytime. This motherfucker took Khamzat Chimaev 10 pounds up on less than 24 hours notice. Like, he's the only guy. Like, when Thiago Santos, when Holland didn't get that contract from the UFC and nobody wanted to fight Thiago Santos, Dana White said, call up Big Mouth, see if he'll take it. Guess who was fighting Thiago Santos that weekend on short notice? I'll always respect that shit, bro. Because, like, me, I mean, if someone was like, yo, come outside and fight me right now, I'd be like, all right, do I think I can beat this dude's ass? If the answer is no, I'm not going out there. You know what I'm saying? He's like, nah, fuck that. They're going to pay me. I'll give it my best shot.
Fuck it, right? All respect. I mean, one of my favorite things was Dan Ige coming on legit a day's notice. Not even a day's notice, the day of. You know what I mean?
For like 3 hours, bro.
And he just shows up and fight Diego Lopez, which he could have won.
The 3rd round.
If there was 5 rounds, I thought he probably could have finished them in like the 4th or 5th, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right, so who do you got, Bonfim or Thompson?
I mean, I'm trying to, like, if I'm going to look, because I do make biased picks, like, last weekend from the betting side, I went 9-2, but on the pick video, I went 8-3 because I picked Kai Kara France because I like him, even though I also said he's probably going to get subbed. But like my pick was Kai Kara, so I'm going to stop doing that, and I'm going to try to start sweeping these cards. So I'm picking only who I think is going to win, even if I love the fighter, and that's where it's going right here with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Old Mike would have picked him because I want him to win. But I'm going to go with the realistic answer, and it's got to be Gabriel Bonfim. He has a pretty clear path to victory. Use his wrestling and jiu-jitsu, and he should be able to nullify any damage at range from striking. So I'm going to go with the younger fighter here, the finisher, 17-1 prospect. And yeah, Gabriel Bonfim, probably second round submission.
It was funny when you said the old Mike would pick Wonder Boy. I have a boy who did some time, right? Like 5 years. And he would always watch the UFC fights with me. Mind you, like it's like a time capsule in there. So like when he got out, dude, I seen one of his parlays, dude. It was like the best UFC fighters from like 6 years ago on his parlay. And I looked at it, I'm like, he was like, dude, it was like plus 20,000, I swear to God. I was like, yo, why are you taking all these fighters? He's like, oh, these motherfuckers still got it. You a hater, bro. How could you forget? I'm loyal to these guys. These guys, like he didn't know who the new guys were. I'm like, yo, you shouldn't be taking these guys, bro. Like it's kind of a bad pick. Like, nah, you don't know shit, bro. And bro, I swear to God, it was the funniest thing. He went like 0 for 6 in this whole parlay.
It'd be
I'm
like,
dude, you can't. I mean, I understand you was gone for 5 years, but damn, bro.
Better do your research.
I'm like, me and my homeboy was telling him, and he was like, nah. He's like one of them stubborn like gamblers, you know what I mean? Like you go to the casino, like he's up 2,000 or something like that. He's like, all right, we gotta go. Nah, I'm gonna win more, and then he'll lose it all, and then he'll go negative for like the night. But
that's the worst.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. But anyways,
Kung Fu Kami says low key Diego and Ige should run it back for Noche UFC. I'm pretty sure Diego's fighting Gene Silva.
yeah, I think Gene Silva's gonna smoke him.
Me too. God, man, I have allergies, bro. My nose. It looks like I'm doing coke or something. It's allergies, y'all. I'm telling you.
Yeah, sure it is.
But yeah, Diego and Gene Silva is gonna be a banger. Donald Trump said there's gonna be UFC fights in the White House. I'll believe it when I see it. That would be crazy.
Dude, I mean, aren't you close to the area?
Without Don, I mean, hey, all politics aside, way back in the day, Donald Trump was like, a big force in why UFC kind of got to where it was at the time. So,
dude, he was a big advocate for MMA back in the day.
And if they didn't have venues, they didn't have venues, they needed a place to go. All right, Donald Trump organized this venue. Go here at his hotel, shit like that.
A lot of people get pissed at Dana. Oh, you support Trump and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a friendship that goes way back, though, bro.
I know, bro. Like, I understand why Dana loves Trump. Like, she's like, dude, you give me a shot. You give me a place to have my fights, yada, yada. Like, they go way back, so, like, I can't hate on that.
Right.
So, yeah. Gene Silva winning the belt. Honestly, with Topuria gone, I could see it happening.
Dude, I thought I was calling that he was going to beat Ilia Topuria like a year or two ago. So
dude, I can see it.
Now I definitely think that without Ilia Topuria being there, the biggest threat to him is Ilia. So with him not being there, I mean, I just can't see who's going to beat Gene Silva unless he really gets grapple fucked by somebody.
Dude, I'm kind of sad that Topuria left that division because I'm like, I wanted Diego Lopez fight. I mean, in hindsight, Diego Lopez would probably got slept in the first round. And then the Gene Silva fight was like the two, and then obviously the Mossar fight. But like, I wasn't really like looking forward to that. I was a little more looking forward to Gene Silva, and I said it in the group chat before. So they should just fast track Gene Silva like they fast tracked Diego Lopez, which they're doing right now. So I think Gene Silva's a future world champion because dude, the way he dismantled freaking Bryce Mitchell, dude. I was like, yeah, this guy's him. Yeah. He's gonna be him.
Even piecing up Melsik Bagdasaryan. I mean, Melsik Bagdasaryan isn't the greatest fighter, but he's a very technical kickboxer. And the way that he put him out as quick as he did.
Dude, he's not cocky with it, too.
Yeah, bro.
He'd be like laughing, smiling. He's like, hey, good shit, nice hit. And then he'll just crack you. And it hits you. You ever notice the different like emotions he comes out to? Like when he's just walking and he's like crying and he's in the ring, he's just like smiling, dancing. And then like all of a sudden he gets mad intense. And then he like locks eyes with freaking Bruce. What's his name? Bruce Buffer. He's like look like he's about to cry.
If it was me and I was like the guy who had to fight him, and he's like getting all hyped and laughing and smiling, and then he's just like crying, I'd be like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with this guy, bruh?
Do you guys have Gene Silva against Jourdain when he was an underdog?
Well,
like Charles you might have.
Charles Jourdain's like one of my favorite fighters, bro, and I had a feeling Gene Silva was going to crack him. But I think
He missed weight as well.
I think I might have bet on Jourdain, but I was not confident in that pick at all. And Jourdain actually showed a couple, decent, wrestling moments before, obviously, he got finished. But I might have took Jourdain in that fight, even though I had a bad feeling about it.
Dana's just investing early in the inevitable pardon when he's arrested for promotional malpractice.
Not a bad idea, but if that arrest ever happens, it's probably not going to be when Trump's in office. That's going to be a very lengthy lawsuit. The Dover fight was wild, man. He was beating. I picked him in that fight for certain. We took him by knockout, and he got it done in the third round.
Let's get back to the fights. Vitor Petrino versus Austen Lane. To be honest, I don't know why Austen Lane is still in the UFC. He's lost.
Has he won a fight? Has this motherfucker won a fight? Hey, no disrespect.
I mean, to be honest, he did. Before getting blasted by Mario Pinto, he actually beat Rebels to Spain by unanimous decision.
Oh, yeah. He was a big underdog in that one, too. I took him for 1+ takedown in that fight, bro. It was like plus 180.
Dude, so he's been knocked out by Justin Tafa, Jonathan Deniz, and Mario Pinto. All pretty bad. And then he was, plus money against Rebels to Spain, and then Rebels to Spain's takedown got exposed, bro. But, he's killing it. He's killing it in karate combat, so I'm happy for Rebels to Spain. Like I was saying before, like in the group chat, I was like, I thought Austen Lane was gonna get cut. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, dude, let Rebels to Spain get his get back in karate combat. It'd be such a fun fight to see. But he's still in the UFC, and he's fighting Vitor Petrino. He was moving up from light heavyweight. To be honest, is he even a big light heavyweight at all? Because he's 6'2". I mean, that's kind of small for heavyweight, no?
I mean, some guys are shorter in heavyweight. He does have a lot of muscle. He's probably only going to weigh in. If I had to guess what Vitor Petrino is going to weigh in as, 6'2", very muscular. I'd say 235, maybe 240 tops.
I'm gonna say he's coming at 240. If he comes at 255 or anything like that, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I actually want to peep his Instagram page right now.
I mean, he's a muscular dude, but low key though,
he's a big
Austen Lane. Like, not to be. I mean, Austen Lane is 10 years older. Austen Lane only comes in at 245. He has a 3-inch height advantage, 2.5-inch reach advantage. I mean, I can see a world where Austen Lane is able to get him to the ground and control him.
Dude, he's 6'6".
But realistically, though, he's probably
this fight has to end.
Hey, Fight Talk Only. Shout out Fight Talk Only. Sup, boys?
What up, my guy?
What is up, gang?
Who do you got, Austen Lane or Vitor Petrino, guys? Let us know in the chat.
Right,
I mean, Big Ong says Petrino.
Yeah, I mean, I have to go. You got to, I mean, a guy who's getting knocked out pretty often. I mean, I am suspect on Vitor Petrino's takedown defense because Austen Lane has those NFL tackles, that blast double that he's going to shoot probably pretty early into the fight. And we'll see what Vitor Petrino does. But I'm leaning Vitor by knockout. It's probably minus 180, though. So.
All right.
He's probably a huge favorite. I would have to guess. He's a massive favorite. I can only assume.
Petrino heavyweight run starts now. All right, bro. Let's see it. Petrino by KO. Damn, everybody's running Petrino, huh?
I know that I would pick Kennedy and Nzechukwu over Vitor Petrino if they get matched up.
Let's see. Where is the odds? Oh shit, I'm going way too far.
Austen Lane definitely doesn't like to get hit, bro. That's how he didn't go fighting.
Yeah, okay. You know how much of an underdog Austen Lane is?
I'll guess.
Austen
420.
Lane. Okay. Plus 500.
God.
Listen. On these type of odds at heavyweight, sprinkle a little money on it.
Hey, check this out. Here is some game for you guys. Austen Lane, because he's all right. So he's a plus 500 underdog. That means Vitor Petrino knockout's probably going to be like minus 180, minus 200. I think the way that the bet for this fight right here, me and Nick will talk about it.
Petrino is minus 700.
Yeah, so we'll talk about this in more depth later, but I'm telling you right now, early, Austen Lane 1 takedown, that shit could be like plus 250. And if it is, I think there's a real chance that he lands one takedown. I bet you that's a money bet, bro.
$20 on Austen Lane at plus 500 is $120. So you just make $100 profit.
Yeah, but he's probably gonna get knocked out. I think he lands a takedown though. Hey, I'm telling you, would you bet on if it was plus 200, Austen Lane to get one takedown? Do you think that would be smart?
Yeah,
I
why
would
not?
think. Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking he'll get a takedown, bro. I'll put like a half a unit on that.
So, like, look at the Petrino's losses, right? He's lost to Dustin Jacoby and Anthony Smith.
You remember the snipe? I was on our video.
Anthony Smith. You was on Anthony Smith. I remember
He's gonna
that.
make him look easy, bro. Plus 1,100 for that sub, bro.
I think we had that recorded too.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite calls of last year because everyone was like, "Nah, he's washed. He's gonna get fucked up." I'm like, "Bro, who is Vitor Petrino fought? Come on."
I don't know, man. Austen Lane, I wouldn't like. I mean, yeah, I go with you guys. You guys are better, smarter than me. I'm just bullshitting right now.
No, I want to pick Austen Lane via WrestleFuck, but I just don't think he's gonna be able to do it for 3 rounds.
Maybe points. I don't know.
I mean, that would be a hell of a snipe if you were to be ballsy enough and take an already plus 500 by decision. It would probably be around plus 1,400.
Shout out to Lionheart. That was an awesome sub. Shout out to him for real.
Yeah, bro.
I can't believe you called that one. I think he was the only one in the chat saying it too.
Yeah, man. People refuse to respect Anthony Smith, bro. Like, and I pick his fights. I typically get his fights right. And, you know, whatever you want to say about him, he's one of the most experienced guys that you could possibly fight in light heavyweight. And you're taking a guy at the time who was like 10-1 or 9-1, and you're giving him against a dude with 50 pro fights who's, you know, for all things considered, he's very well rounded. I like Lionheart.
I think I can see Vitor Petrino knocking out Lane. The way Lane gets knocked out is pretty funny too. It's kind of like the Johnny Walker of the heavyweight division.
Yeah, bro. It's sad when they be getting knocked out like that. And then everyone just makes fun of them. You just get brain damaged on live TV, and then people make fun of you. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, he did get knocked out by Greg Hardy as well.
Yeah.
Fury FC heavyweight champion.
Greg Hardy's not great.
All right, I'll go with you guys. I trust the boys. I trust the chat. We're gonna go Vitor Petrino. But I might sprinkle, a little something on Austen Lane. I love Anthony Smith. I took some nails in his last couple fights, honestly, but I always believed in him. Hey, man, they don't call him Lionheart for a reason, bro. He never gets put out cold, to be honest. If you look at most of his fights, because he's always had that, he's always a dog. I remember that one time he took an ass beating from Glover Teixeira. That dude never gave up.
Bro, there's a clip in that fight, like, when Glover's on top of him and he knocks his teeth out, and Glover Teixeira was like, "I'm sorry, this is only business." And Anthony Smith is like, "It is what it is, bro." And then he just goes to getting beat on more, and I'm like, what a dog. He just isn't doing anything. That
was Glover's title, road to the title, bro. That was one of the craziest runs in MMA history, and I think because he would get his ass beat for like the first 2 minutes, he'll get dropped or whatever, but he'll never get put out. And then Glover would just come back from the dead and just freaking outwork you the whole fight and just fucking finish you. Because I remember he finished Anthony Smith, Thiago Santos. Who else am I missing? Chat, help me out. What run was Glover on?
He was on a good dude. I mean, you remember when he got beat the fuck up by John Jones?
That was pretty sad.
That
I mean, it wasn't like a really bad ass whooping. I mean, yeah, he lost every round, but it wasn't as bad as when he got fucking his ass kicked by Jamal Hill, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, the Jamal Hill one was just fucked up, bro. But
it was elderly abuse.
John Jones had him against the cage. Just,
Okay. This is the run because he lost to Corey Anderson, right? And then after that, he went on a 5-fight win streak before he got a title fight. He choked out Carl Roberson. He choked out Ian Kutalabe. He had a split decision win against Nikita Krylov. And then he finishes Anthony Smith. I remember that my boy texted me that the night of. I was like, all right, who do you got? Anthony Smith or Glover Teixeira? I'm like, Glover. And he's like, no, are you serious? I'm like, Glover. He's like, all right, whatever. And then he finished them in the 5th round. And then Thiago Santos, I was like, all right, Thiago's probably going to smoke him. I think he dropped him twice in the 1st round. And then he gassed out and he got choked out. And then he fought Jan for the title on that free UFC pay-per-view card on Halloween. You remember that?
Yeah.
And I was sitting there like, nah, there's no way he's losing to Jan. I mean, he's beating Jan, and then Jan chokes him out in the second round. I mean, he chokes out Jan in the second round.
Dude, I was on Glover by sub in that fight. My buddy was like, no. And the reason I picked Glover in that fight, and I have come around on Jan Blachowicz, but there was years where I just considered him like the most overrated fighter. And
Yeah, I was on the same boat.
I'm just like, dude, look at Jan. He's like, how is he about to stop Glover Teixeira from choking him? And
Dude, he almost beat Yuri. He almost beat Yuri until Yuri had that crazy comeback.
Man, he was winning, bro. I think he would have won 49-46 on those cards, maybe 50-45, and then he just gets like. I was sad, bro.
Dude, he was so exhausted.
I remember my boy. He was down because we were still using the illegal sports book back then, and we were on. My buddy was like down a lot of bread that night. And he told me, he said, bro, fuck it. I'm locking it in. I got 25 more bucks to put. I'm throwing it down on Yuri by sub plus 2,200 for 25 bucks and ended up winning like 560 or something. And it cleared all the money he was down. And I'm like, bro, I mean, it was a luck shot, but I'm like, how did you snipe that shit out? 30 seconds left in round 5, bro.
Whew, man. I love those calls, man. But anyways, let's get into Junior Tafa versus Tuco Tokkos. A crazy name that is.
Yeah, it is. Damn, yo. Hey, I'm going to be right back. I got it there for 30 seconds.
All right, hold up. It gives me a time to get to use this. I finally get to use this, guys. All right, as Mike gets back, I pour myself a Mountain Dew because I'm a sick fuck. I can't lie. Mountain Dew is like my favorite soda in the world.
You from Mountain Dew.
Dude, I got to use that fucking that little cutscene that I never got to use. It's been sitting here. Dude, I've been waiting so long to use that, bro. Like I never seen you or Nick use it. Like when you guys need like, oh, I need to use the bathroom or something. No, man, nobody's using it. I'm like, all right, let me finally use it.
Fire. I like that. Hey, if anyone's in here, you haven't hit the like button, we get one more like. We got 10 likes. I'll be lit if we get 10. Throw that like button down if you haven't. Tafa by KO. Yeah, probably. I mean, Tuco Tokkos isn't that bad.
Mountain Dew Live Wire is goated. It might be top 10 for me. To be honest, I'm a Mountain Dew like connoisseur. Like some of the new flavors are kind of wild, to be honest. Like the Flaming Hot Mountain Dew, disgraceful, to be honest. This one's just a regular Mountain Dew, but in my fridge I also got Baja Blast, which is like an OG. Pitch Black's also one of my favorites. All right, Junior Top. You know, Junior is not even his real name.
And Tuco isn't Tokkos' real name either. It's George.
Wait, what? Hold on.
I'm on his third dog. It says George Tokkos. I never knew that.
Junior Tafa's real name is Pascal.
Pascal? Hard, bro.
His real name is Pascal Samani Milo. And then his brother's just Justin Tafa.
That's a Maori shit, apparently, I guess. Hey, we got 10 likes. Let's go. Big W in the chat. We appreciate that. You already know.
LimeWire and Code Red for me. Original's goated too. Code Red makes my stomach hurt, to be honest. I'm kind of scared to drink that one nowadays. That was like one of the original Mountain Dew flavors. Mike, you don't even drink the soda like that anymore, right?
I just drink either like LaCroix, Aha, those seltzers. Huh?
What the hell did you just say to me?
Like
LaCroix?
LaCroix, yeah.
What the hell is that?
It's like a seltzer, and it's like it's carbonated water, and they for the flavoring they like essence the water with the rind. So I guess like they pressurize the rinds of the fruits and use the essence for the flavoring. So they're 0 calories. It's just carbonated water with a little bit of flavor, like lime or lemon, shit like that. Other than that, just Coke Zero.
You know what's a crazy drink? Not even crazy. I don't think it's crazy. But it's like a Southeast Asian drink. It's egg soda.
Egg soda sounds crazy.
It's the egg yolk, right? And then first of all, you get like condensed milk, and you put it at the bottom of the cup. You know, I don't know, like what is it, like a quarter of an inch? And then you fill it up with condensed milk in the cup, and then you put the egg yolk, not the white, like the clear stuff. You have to like use like a bottle to like suck up the yolk and then shoot it back out into the cup.
Hey yo.
No diddy. And then you put like club soda, and then you just mix it, bro. It's fucking fantastic. But if you don't want to do all that, bro, there's a hack. All you do is put condensed milk with Sprite, like a lemon lime soda or whatever, and just mix it. And that's like the closest thing to egg soda without the egg.
I can see how that would be good. I like condensed milk's nice and sweet. Mix it with a little lemon lime.
But the only thing is with like, it gets all like custardy. I don't know. I don't like it with doing the lemon lime soda.
That's actually crazy enough. When you started talking about the egg soda, I was about to bring up what Fight Talk only brought up. Inca Cola. That joint tastes like bubble gum. It's like this yellow soda that the Latinos like. That joint it tastes like straight like bubble gum. It's interesting.
What's that Goya shit? You know that Goya drink? What is it called?
They have one called Jarritos.
Hey, I fuck with those. I get those all the time when I get my Spanish food.
Yeah, those are good. They be having, if you see those, there's a chance Inca Cola is right next to it.
What kind of name is Tucos? I don't know, bro. It's kind of crazy to be honest.
Tuco Tokkos. That's a cool ass name, Loki. I feel like, I mean, we already know there's a massive hole in Junior Tafa's game, and that hole is the grappling department. And Tokkos likes to grapple.
To be honest, Junior Tafa shouldn't be in the UFC.
Hey, shout out Nick. Nick called Eugenio Suarez home run today. He just smacked one.
There you go. That's what I was saying. I don't think Junior Tafa should be in the UFC.
But
I think he got called up too soon, to be honest. And he knocked out Parker Porter, which, you know, he definitely doesn't deserve to be in the UFC.
Yeah, he knocked out our boy, man. Fuck Junior Tafa.
Also, guys, if you haven't seen it, Mike just did an interview with Parker Porter on the channel. So go check that out. Like, comment, show Parker some love, and Mike.
Yeah. Shout out Big Parker Porter. He's a legend. I guess we got to go. I don't know. I guess we got to go with Junior Tafa. I don't really want to pick anyone in this fight. I wonder what the odds are.
I'll pull it up right now. To be honest, I'm not even investing. I used to be invested in Tafa because, you know, he's a rising guy, kickboxing guy. But, yeah, honestly, he's too soon for him. Tuco is a plus 142 underdog.
He's plus 142?
Yeah.
Oh, man. They got it close. They're like, we're not letting you make money off Junior Tafa if he sells the bag.
I mean, he's a minus 170.
I mean, I could see him getting wrestled, but at the same time, like, I mean,
is this a fight you really want to bet on?
Yeah, if Tokkos was like plus 500 like Austen Lane, I would certainly think about betting on him. But
Tuco's from the UK.
Yeah,
I thought he was Georgian.
His name is George.
Oh, yeah, it is. George Tokkos. He changed out of Killcliff, to be honest. I mean, his losses aren't too bad. Omar C. and Navajo Sterling.
He hasn't really beaten anyone, though, either. I mean, not that Junior Tafa is some sort of step up in competition.
I mean, the guy he lost to isn't terrible. I mean,
he lost to Ming Yang Zhang, which is crazy.
I mean, Junior Tafa, I just don't. If he's not knocking you out, bro, he's most likely going to get grappled. And he beat a dude named Sean Sharaf. Who the fuck is that?
Tokkos is tough, dude. If he can get Tafa to the floor, Tafa's so bad down there. I could see Tokkos getting a sub. How many subs does Tokkos have?
I will look at it right now. And it is...
Only has 2.
6 TKOs. I mean, he could finish him, to be honest.
Bravo choke, arm triangle. I could see him getting an arm triangle over Junior Tafa. No.
I mean, what kind of submission does he really have? I mean, he has a Darce choke on his resume and an arm triangle.
I could see him getting an arm triangle, but do I want to bet on that? Probably
No.
not.
This is the fight you just hope is actually good.
Right, exactly. Just pray.
Big Ong says Sean Sharafa was the short notice dude who almost KO'd Tafa.
Oh, yeah, that guy was tough as shit.
I didn't watch that fight because, like, might have been an Apex fight card, right?
Yeah, I think he got the shit beat out of him, but he was tough.
I mean, I think I'd rather play Tuco, to be honest. I mean, why not, right? Plus money.
All right, fuck it. Let's pick Tuco Tokkos then.
Yeah, Tuco. Let's pick
Let's
George,
go.
yeah.
Let's go, George.
All right, let's see. I think that was the main card. I mean, we got Chris Curtis and Max Griffin. I mean, Chris Curtis was already in a fight recently, if you saw what happened at Tough Enough.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was very unprofessional. Madness. I got Chris Curtis, probably just via outboxing Max Griffin. Will he get a finish? I don't know. First time we're seeing him at 170 in the UFC, but
I don't know, man. This fight doesn't really move me at all. Like Chris Curtis, I don't think any of us has any real joy.
Yeah,
you think Chris Curtis will get suspended before the fight happens? No, it would already happen by now.
I'm sure he's going to get some sort of fine, but he didn't really do anything. He did approach the fighter, but Sean Strickland was the one who hit him.
Max Griffin is 39, bro.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Curtis by knockout is probably live. I don't think Max Griffin gets knocked out, but
I mean, Max Griffin hasn't been finished. I mean, he got finished in his last fight against Michael Chiesa, but if we're talking about like just getting knocked out, he's got finished by Colby Covington back in 2016, but that was more ground and pound.
Yeah, maybe I could see Chris Curtis maybe knocking him out.
He hasn't been slept. That's the thing.
He's 39 though. If there was ever a time for it to happen, Chris Curtis via boring decision. I hope it's not boring, man. I hope they at least go back and forth and strike. I'm assuming Griffin's going to try to wrestle, but
crazy enough, Chris Curtis' last TKO win was in 2022 against Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah, that was a good win. But Buckley's a bit undersized there. Yeah, we'll probably say Chris Curtis by decision, honestly. I'm not very excited for that fight. All things considered, the next fight I'm excited for, though.
Well, Chris Curtis is a minus 310 favorite.
God.
Honestly, I can see it being like a split decision.
Crazy. Minus 310.
Chris Curtis by split decision?
The odds on that would probably be crazy.
Yeah, it seems like the guys agree it's Curtis by decision.
Yeah.
God, I mean, to be honest, I ain't betting that fight. It's like one of those fights they're just probably going to, stand up. It's not going to be nothing too crazy. They're going to throw the same combinations throughout the whole fight. One of those. All right, let's skip that one. You can tell by how excited we are on that one.
Yeah.
All right, I like this one. Jake Matthews and Chidi. Chat, who do you got? Who do you got, chat? Mike, who you got?
Oh, man. I mean, you would think Chidi could find a way. The thing is, on occasion, Jake Matthews can be really, really good.
But he's also very inconsistent.
He hasn't been knocked out since he got knocked out by Kevin Lee on the Ultimate Fighter finale, and that was 9 years ago. He's fought a lot of guys, dude. He's pretty
Bro, Jake is only 30 years old.
Yeah, he's been in the UFC for 9 years.
He has 21 fights with the UFC.
Hey, shout out Matt Semmelsberger, fucking masterclassed him.
Dude, I don't know, man. Just like his whole career has been up and down. Remember everybody thought he was like a world beater after beating Andre Fialho?
He looked good, man. He looked good in that fight.
He looked good, but like honestly, in hindsight, that's just fucking Andre Fialho. That dude is like one of the worst chins.
Yeah, and he was looking really good too. He had a Kevin Holland-esque run where he fought 4 or 5 times in a year, and he was winning all of them except for a decision loss to Michel Pereira. So he was, I think Jake Matthews was the first guy to put him out like that, and then he just went off on a bad run of getting knocked out.
I think so. I saw Fialho get knocked out in Brave CF.
Yeah, I know. He started getting knocked out all
UAE Warriors, my bad.
I'll go with I guess I have to go. Chidi is pretty hot right now. So even though he's 36 years old and I feel like he has kind of a massive weight cut, I think, well, what's the odds? Is Jake Matthews a huge underdog?
I feel like he'll beat an underdog, to be honest. That's
Depending
actually
on
pretty
how
close. Matthews is a plus 120 and Chidi's a minus 142.
Matthew Semmelsberger's favorite athlete is Sean Taylor. Shout out. Yeah, I grew up going to the
You
same
went to
school
high
with
school with
Matt.
Semmelsberger, right?
Yeah, he's a couple years older than me, but he was a savage. Back in the day, they used to let us do open mat. So like when it either if wrestling practice wasn't happening or if it wasn't wrestling season, they would just leave the wrestling rooms open and we could all go in there after school and just scrap, grapple, wrestle. And obviously that didn't last too long, but everybody was always scared to go against Semi.
Semmelsberg's downfall needs to be studied.
Yeah, he gave it a good run. He's a solid striker. A couple injuries like that, the injury he sustained in the fight against Preston Parsons, but being from, shout out Frederick, Maryland, coming out of here and, making it to the UFC, getting some of the fastest knockouts in the sports history, like him and Anthony Rumble Johnson are the only two fighters in the UFC that have sub 15-second knockouts, two of them.
So who do you got in this one? Maybe Chidi?
I guess so. I mean, wait, what's the odds? Is Jake Matthews a massive underdog?
No, I just said it. I'm plus 142.
Yeah, probably Chidi. I don't think it's juicy enough. I think my pick, just logically based on how their careers are looking right now, Chidi and Njokuani looked fucking amazing in his last fight. He does really good work in the clinch with knees. He's a powerful striker. He might be too much for Jake Matthews to deal with, even though Jake Matthews is pretty technically sound.
Does it go to decision or does it end by stoppage?
I don't know. I mean, Chidi and Njokuani is doing pretty good right now. I can see Jake Matthews making it to a decision. And then
Shout out DMV.
Hey, shout out to the DMV. You already know the vibes. That's where we at right now.
I'm in Boston, baby. New England, baby. Yeah, I'd probably go Chidi. I don't know if it gets goes to it'll probably go to the scorecards, to be honest. It'll probably be like 29-28, 29-28, and then one judge will just have it 30-27.
The over could be sneaky if they make the over a 1.5 because of how Chidi's been looking, or even if it's 2.5, over 2.5 could be like plus 180 or something. So if you think it's going to a decision, that could potentially be a juicy prop. They're not out yet, but
It sucks, bro. I want to see those props right now.
I know.
But
They don't
anyways,
come out until like fucking Wednesday next week, probably Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
yeah, that's when Mike and Nick will be doing those. I'm not into the betting scene no more, but Mike and Nick are. Nick's pretty good at those type of videos, so that's his spot, his role. Anyways, next fight, Lauren Murphy was Eduarda Moura. Is that Mike? You know how to say his name?
Yeah, good old Edward. Eduarda Moura.
Eduarda Moura.
Eduarda.
Eduarda.
I really like Eduarda Moura a lot. I think she's live to win this fight by sub.
Dude, have you seen the fucking odds?
Is it insane? It wouldn't surprise me if it was.
Moura, what's her guess her odds?
Oh fuck. I mean, now that you're asking me, what, minus 800?
A little off, but minus 625.
I guess I can understand. I mean, Lauren Murphy is tough. She's never lost by sub. Fuck it. Hey, give me Eduarda Moura by sub in this fight.
You think it gets under? Dude, she's 41 years old, Lauren Murphy.
Yeah, she's tough, but this Eduarda Moura girl is no joke, dude. And although Lauren Murphy's kind of tall for the division as well, I think, shout out Nova. I be out Nova sometimes, like Langley or Annandale area. I'll be out there. Moura in round 1. Lauren Murphy's last fight could have been when she got the shit kicked out of her by Andrade.
2023.
That was a
January 21st. Moura round 1. Yeah, I got her too, bro. I think Moura's gonna win. I think just odds speak for itself. Lauren Murphy's 41, man. I think this could be her last fight.
Yeah, and Eduarda Moura, that is certainly not being done any favors. A girl who's kind of lesser known, a lot younger. She's pretty tough.
9 finishes out of her 11 wins. Yeah, this could be a layup, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no question. I think we all know what our picks are. I think the whole chat agrees. Everybody on Twitter's and Instagram definitely picking Moura. So that's all I gotta say. Let's get into Kennedy and Njokuani. I can never say these names bro. I gotta get better at this.
I think it's Kennedy and Nzechukwu. It's Kennedy and Nzechukwu.
And Valter Walker, Johnny Walker's brother. I can't lie. Valter Walker has like my favorite Instagram right now.
I like Valter Walker.
I would play his videos, but I don't want to get hit with like a copyright or something because he has
Right.
music over his videos.
Big on
But-
says Valter lost to a 1-5 guy. That's pretty bad. I mean, Valter Walker though, and I called this in his last fight when he came into the UFC. He kind of just really didn't look like he was in shape. He was fighting Lucas Brzeski. He didn't look good. You know, I was
That's a
expecting
bad
little,
loss.
yeah, I was expecting a little more. But when he came back in his next fight, I was like, wait till we see him on the scales. I want to see something, and he looked to be in incredible shape. I was impressed with how he performed. I mean, it was against Junior Tafa, who I do not rate highly at all. I actually think Kennedy and Nzechukwu is pretty damn good. The only thing about Kennedy that bothers me is that I feel like he has like mental lapses where either he's like not believing in himself, or maybe he's distracted, or he has something going on outside of the cage, because we've seen him in the past where like it looks like he has everything that he needs to win, and then he's either gun shy or he's afraid to get hit. But he looked amazing in his 2 fights at heavyweight so far. I think he's had 2.
Kennedy looks like a freaking giant at heavyweight. To be honest, like it suits him, bro.
Yeah, and I think he's very technically skilled for the division. Yeah, he beat Lucas Brzeski and Chris Barnett, and he looked really good in both of those fights. I'm gonna go with Kennedy as well by knockout. Exactly,
he gets
basically
another-
cousins. You already know. You already know. Yeah, we're not too far. I'm not too far from Fight Talk only.
Arlington, Virginia. Man, my dad's from the Fairfax County.
That's not too far from here either.
Yeah. Gotta get back out there. Maybe I'll link up with the DMV.
Yeah, for sure, bro. There's always stuff to do out here.
Why did it not bring me to his Instagram? I'm trying to see how big Kennedy is. I ain't gonna say this.
Nah, Kennedy. I'm all in on Kennedy, and I like Valter Walker as well. But just based on how their careers are, like Valter Walker, embarrassing. Even though I thought he won against Brzeski, beat Junior Tafa with the heel hook. I think he has 2 straight heel hooks. Actually, am I tripping, or did he just win his last 2 fights both by heel hook?
Dude, I thought I was on the wrong Instagram profile, right? And it's actually Kennedy's, but he got like a gospel ass page. So every
He
post-
did. He fucking heel hooked Junior Tafa and Dontel Mays. So that's not too bad. I mean, you're out here. I mean, I don't think he's heel hooking Kennedy and Nzechukwu. That's for damn sure. If he does, he might be the GOAT.
Trying to see how big he is.
Who, Valter or Kennedy? Because Valter's pretty big himself.
Valter.
He's a pretty big boy. He was a lot more cut up in his last 2 fights than he was in his debut.
What do you think, Mike?
Probably
You
gonna go
think
with
I'm-
Kennedy by knockout.
Kennedy by knockout. Kennedy's the minus 218 favorite. Valter's a plus 180.
He's only lost once, and it was to Brzeski. Is he gonna knock Brzeski, or is he gonna knock Valter Walker out? That's the hard part. I mean,
Losing to Brzeski is a bad loss.
it's not a good loss. It's not a good loss. Kennedy and Nzechukwu, on the other hand, I mean, you know, when I saw Ryan Spann going up to heavyweight, I thought it would translate very well, and he looked terrible. And Nzechukwu, on the other hand, has looked like a world beater, although his competition strength of schedule in his 2 heavyweight fights so far is pretty low in Brzeski and fan favorite Chris Barnett. Valter Walker is a bigger dude, though. He's probably going to have a 30-pound weight advantage. I could see Nzechukwu by decision. That's probably juicy. If I'm guessing, the sports books are thinking he's probably going to knock him out. Kennedy and Nzechukwu winning a 29-28 decision where he has to deal with some wrestling in the first round. His cardio holds up better than Valter Walker, and then he ends up kind of point fighting, sticking and moving, staying away from the threat of the takedown, and winning a decision on the cards. It's actually a pretty reasonable outcome.
It's just heavyweights, bro. I mean, if it goes to decision, it's like that's the most typical thing that would happen.
Yeah, it has been happening more in recent memory.
I'll probably go Kennedy, to be honest. I think it feels like a more safe bet. I don't think Valter Walker's that good. I mean, yeah, he has good heel hooks and stuff, but like if he's not doing that, he's probably gonna gas himself out. Let's go to the next fight, which is Mike Davis and Mitch Ramirez. I feel like Mike Davis is one of the most inconsistent fighters, like just showing up in general. Doesn't he fight like once a year?
Probably less than once a year. If I had to put it
Dude,
together, he probably fights once every 18 months, maybe.
Dude, he's been in the UFC since 2019. It does not feel like he's been in the UFC since 2019, to be honest. His debut in the UFC against Gilbert Burns, 2019, April 27th. And he beat cancel fight, Thomas Guilford, knocked him out in the third round in 2019. And the 2 cancel fights, Mason Jones beat him. Cancel fight. Slavakos beat him. Natan Levy beat him. He lost to Farazian.
He got fucked up in that fight, dude. I'm pretty sure I picked Farazian, threw a bet down on Farazian. That fight really kind of. I mean, Mitch Ramirez is certainly a major step down in competition, but I've never been a Mike Davis believer. I think Mike Davis should win this fight, and Mitch Ramirez has 2 losses, both by way of knockout. I could see Mike Davis finding his way to a submission or a knockout in this fight, but Mike Davis is a guy that I will look forward to fade again. He was pulling guard within a minute against Farazian. He kind of got beat up real bad. I don't know. And
damn.
He said he doesn't even like fighting.
All right, Mike Davis is guess his odds.
Oh, I think I might have seen. Is he like minus 1,100 or something?
Yeah, minus 1,000.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, he should win, but
I mean,
that's diabolical.
I think if you're gonna do a bet on him, it's gonna have to be a prop, right?
Yeah, definitely. You would have to either pick. For me, sometimes if I'm that like with Terrence McKinney, when we look at him, we're like, all right, what's the knockout and what's the sub? Oh, the sub is 3 times better than the knockout. I'll take the sub. So if we're looking at minus 1,100, Mike Davis, Mitch Ramirez has 2 losses, both by knockout. Knockout's probably going to be minus 110, and submission could be like plus 220, plus 250. I think there's a lot of juice on that, especially because Mike Davis is always liable to wrestle. So I could see him wrestling, getting it to the ground. Didn't he sub Natan Levy, or am I tripping?
I believe he did, or he finished him by TKO. Arm triangle, actually.
Yeah, so he can get subs, and
dude, his losses are pretty good too. Like Mike Davis's, like Sadiq Youssef, Gilbert Burns, and for us. Even like Big Unc saying Ziam's the real deal. So
he is, bro. He is definitely top 15 ready. I missed that comment. I was thinking they were gonna give Farazian. I was thinking Farazian versus Ignacio Bahamondes. That's what I really wanted to see. 2 tall strikers who can both grapple. That's what I wanted to see. But of course, they gave Ignacio the step up in competition with Rafael Fiziev.
Ziam's last loss was Terrence McKinney.
Terrence McKinney on any given day, bro. In round 1, he can beat anybody. I don't care who you are. In round 1,
killed or could be killed. He's probably just so surprised how crazy McKinney is in the first round.
He is, man. He pushes a pace for 5 minutes.
I think all of McKinney's fight ends in the first round, right? If I'm correct.
Yeah, he lost in the second round to Bonfim, and I think he might have 1 second round finish on his record as well, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, so this is when McKinney was on fire, to be honest. He actually, he beat Faraz, and then he almost finished Drew Dober in the first round. And then he lost to the Bonfim, one of the Bonfim brothers, Nazim Sadikov. I mean, he lost against good guys, McKinney, but yeah. Zomb lost to him. It's not bad. He's definitely top 15. Especially after his knockout win against Mash Vola. Woo! Woo!
Yeah, bro. He fucked him up. I think that was his debut, wasn't it?
Who?
Terrence McKinney.
No. I'm talking about Faraz.
Oh, yeah. That knockout was fucking brutal. That was one of the best knockouts of the year, man.
I remember Matt Rolls began some bad KO losses, to be honest.
Yeah, dude. I picked him against BSD, and he got fucking smoked. I picked him against Dober, too, though. I said that was the dog of the week. Matt Frivola by knockout.
All right, let's get back on track. Yeah, Mike Davis, minus 1,000. You're going to have to take a prop bet.
Yeah, that's nutty. That's crazy. I don't even like
Pavoya always loses to the Frenchman. Yeah, he's actually 0-2 against the Frenchman.
He
BSD.
does.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm going to pick maybe under if the fight it's a plus money or even close to the betting worth betting. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I would stay away from that one. I don't trust Mike Davis. I'm sure he's gonna win, but
do you
I
trust Mitch Ramirez?
no. I think Mike Davis is gonna win, but if I want to take a prop and I'm like, oh, he could probably get a sub, and then I find himself, winning a lackluster kind of non entertaining 30-27.
Most of Mitch Ramirez's wins are in the first round too, so this could be end quickly.
I hope it
I mean,
is.
dude, he lost against Thiago Moist by leg kicks.
Yeah, he was getting chopped the fuck up in that fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Mike Davis just because it's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
It's not really much. And then, you think the odds get worse, huh? You get better, huh? Fatima Kline versus Melissa Martinez. Guess the odds.
Oh no, is Fatima Kline a massive favorite?
You're gonna have to guess it.
Minus 600.
Oh, you are way off.
Oh no.
Fatima Kline is a minus 1350 favorite.
Oh my god. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I was going into this like, ooh, I wonder what her odds will be. She probably wins this fight pretty easily. But now I'm like, is there a way I can pick Melissa Martinez?
Big Honest has never bet on women's MMA. We saw what happened in Baku. Dude, just don't bet on women's MMA in general, to be honest. But you do, and you see massive odds like this, I always go underdog.
Shit, Nick has a theory we'll talk about next week. Of course, he always takes the first female underdog of the night, and it looks like this one might be a plus 900. I mean, Fatima Kline's really good though, and she probably wins this fight. Fatima Kline or Melissa Martinez beat Alice Ardeline, lost to Elise Reed. No really notable fights before that. 8-1. Fatima Kline though had a pretty close fight against Jasmine Jasudavicius, who I think is amazing. Yeah, I mean Fatima Kline's got to be the pick. Obviously, probably I'll say sub just because that'll probably be like plus 400 or something. I'll just fucking say sub, whatever. But Fatima Kline's real good. I think she has a promising career on her way in the UFC.
Didn't she lose her debut?
Yeah, to Jasmine Jasudavicius though, and she actually did pretty good. She looked a lot smaller. Jasmine was clearly the bigger fighter. She was clearly the stronger fighter. Fatima Kline had moments where she looked pretty good, and then she ends up getting a knockout in her next fight against Victoria Dudikova, I think. Victoria Dudikova?
And then Melissa Martinez, where's she originally from? She's from Combate?
She's Mexican, which means she could have some dog in her.
Yeah, her strength competition is just not that good.
It's not good at all. Even her 2 UFC fights. Elise Reed is actually decent. And then Alice Ardeline. Alice Ardeline has hands, though. I'll give her that.
Yeah, it's Fatima Kline, man. But if I'm betting on anybody, it's going to be Melissa Martinez. A little sprinkle.
Shout out Super Melly. Get it done.
Listen, boys. $20 on Melissa Martinez, $180. That's $160 profit.
That's pretty good. It's not too shabby.
I might do a fun parlay just for the fuck of it. Melissa Martinez and Austen Lane.
Oh my god.
Parlay that's plus 5,300. Dude.
$20 wins what? $1,600, $1,300?
$1,080.
Pretty good.
Listen, that's $1,060 profit.
A little quick donation. Fuck it.
Hey man, sometimes you never know. They just might hit. It depends which fighter shows up. I mean, if you want to go crazy, right? We can add a Max Griffin. Actually, not fuck Max Griffin.
Yeah, he's not winning.
I mean, Mitch Ramirez is not winning.
Tuco Tokkos might win.
Honestly, Tokkos, yeah. I mean, nah.
Nate Landwehr?
Nate Landwehr plus 210. I don't feel confident that he can upset. I mean, he can, but
probably not. Jake Matthews, maybe.
Nah, this is not greedy. This is where I get greedy.
Right, you gotta be like, let me get Austen Lane, Mitch Ramirez and Melissa Martinez.
Nah, I'll just do that 2-pick, bro. I'm telling you, that 2-pick. Let me put an extra 5. Let's be generous. All right, if I put $25 on this 2-pick, it will win me $13.50.
Fight Talk only says Landwehr is winning over the Frenchman.
Dude,
Shout out to the French though. I guess that's like Brian Battle after he beat Kevin Jousset. Y'all thought I was gonna lose in a fist fight to a French dude.
All right. God damn. So I had Nate Landwehr, who's plus 210, 3-pick parlay. It's plus 1,600. That's gonna win me $4,000 if I put on $25 on it. Mike, if I hit that, I'm flying out to the DMV, hanging out with you for a week.
Hell yeah, bro. We gonna eat some good ass food.
I want to eat some real blue crab.
Oh,
The real
yeah.
Old Bay seasoning. Is that what the Old Bay originally from?
Yeah, bro. The Chesapeake, right off the Chesapeake.
Yeah, I could not.
Go visit my deadbeat dad. Like, give me some money and then flex.
yeah. Go out on the pontoon boat. Pull up on the cages. Pull it. All you gotta do, pull them out because the crabs just go in the cages. Pull them out the cages. Put back the women or the female crabs. Take.
I was about to say, what do you mean put back the women? What are you talking about?
That's how you. I mean, you could take them if you want, but you want them to keep. Keep the population. So put back some of them. Keep all the good ones and just dump them in a pot. That's the only thing that sucks though, because we take them back and we just got like a big ass joint of boiling water.
Let me in.
Do you guys eat the shells, like the inside of the shell?
Not well. If you do a soft shell crab, those are gas. But usually you just cook them. They turn nice and red, and then you just pick them. Like sometimes we'll just like pick all the crabs, turn it into like a crab cake or like crab dip, and yeah, you already know. We know how to do it out here. I'll teach you how to take it apart.
I mean, I eat crab in general. I eat rock crab. You ever had rock crab?
Rock crab.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I only ever ate
The Dwayne Johnson crab.
Atlantic rock crab. Now we be eating them blues over here.
I get a lot of rock crabs around here.
Listen, we meet in the middle, DC, the wharf. All right, Fight Talks, pull it up with us. We gonna hit that crazy parlay and we gonna link.
We gonna link. Let me go visit my deadbeat dad first, and then get money, and then he'll pay for the meal for us.
I eat the mustard if it's yellow. Yeah, motherfuckers get grimy sometimes. I'll be in there. Don't matter.
I do be eating a lot of crab. The thing is, like the thing with rock crab, it's such a fucking hassle to eat. You know what I mean? Like picking all the meat out and shit like that. Like if you eat the inside of the shell, I love that shit. Like I'm Cambodian, so we make like our own little dipping sauce with it. So we put like a little fish sauce, chili, garlic, lime and stuff like that. Dude, I'm telling you, it's fire.
Yeah, I mean, crab in general is kind of like it's kind of a chore. You can cut your fingers and shit, but at the same time, like of course the old timers, my mom, taught me when I was younger, like there's tricks. Like so if I could get the crab open myself, but like having people show me the best ways to do it, you could just buzz through that process.
I just don't understand why people are so scared to eat seafood, bro. I think seafood's like the greatest thing in the world. Especially like fucking shrimp. Like people don't even like calamari. Like, bro, are you serious? Like you don't like calamari? Nah, it kind of creeps me out eating that stuff. You don't think a chicken's creepy looking?
Right. Yeah. Same with like people don't like oysters. I'm like, bro, give me some raw oysters right now.
All day. Dude, I love them days where it's like $1 oysters like on like a random restaurant. And then what else? I love clams. I'm big on clams.
Mussels, all that. You already know I'll eat all that. People are just so picky a lot of the time. It's kind of crazy to me. I feel like seafood for me is like, I mean, I like steak and chicken and shit, but I love seafood. Any seafood, it don't even matter. I'll eat smoked herring.
Do you eat octopus?
Yeah, bro.
Do you eat that shit sliced, bro? Eat the tentacles, slice it up. Put it on the grill.
I mean, I'm always open. I'll eat whatever.
Oh.
The best restaurants are in Nova. Nova does got some good shit. Nova, DC, even Montgomery County. We got some solid shit in Frederick too. Here over in Frederick County, because there's gonna be like Nova, DC, Montgomery County, Frederick County.
Peruvian food. Dude, honestly, I gotta try some Peruvian food.
Peruvian's good.
Ceviche, you already know I love ceviche.
Y'all probably don't have Sardis up there, but there's like this little chain around here that has like little Peruvian chicken spots. Sardis is gas.
Have you heard like those crab like boils and stuff like that? Not like the it has like corn, sausage, potatoes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that shit, bro. I'm telling you, you gotta eat the Asian style, bro. I'm telling you, it's incredible.
Hell
But
yeah.
anyways, that was the last fight of that whole card, to be honest. Fatima Kline's a minus 1350 favorite.
Criminal.
Man,
Absolutely criminal.
if you're asking me, I might do that 3-pick parlay. I might have to take the Landwehr fight off. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying?
Most Martinez is low key, probably doesn't win, but at the odds she's at, I feel like it's worth it. I mean, she's like 8-1 underdog. It's nuts.
Melissa Martinez, Austen Lane, Nate Landwehr. You put $25, you're gonna win $4,185. Listen, I'm gonna take up Nate Landwehr. That dude, that shit drops it by like $300. I mean $3,000.
Yeah, that's a risky one for sure.
Ceviche is Peruvian. The best Peruvian chicken spot in the area is Eddie's Chicken in Falls Church, Virginia, bro.
Falls Church.
Y'all making me hungry.
There's some sick swim spots out that way. Like there's a spot called Scott's Run, which a lot of people know about. It's beautiful. But then if you go like a half mile down the road, there's a spot called Difficult Run, and you hike up to this spot, and there's like this just a beautiful body of water, and like there's a little cave. It's like this big, and it's very dark in there. You have to like shimmy in, and it opens up in a J shape, and you walk out, and you're under a waterfall. It's fucking beautiful. The Idaho Skatesman, yo, Phil.
Who is this guy? I'm just kidding. I know who it is. That's Skate. He's the one to be doing the fight companions for us. What up, my bro? How's Australia treating you, bro?
Yeah, that's dope, dude.
You know what Skate's been doing? Dude, he's been traveling just to skate in every like city or country.
To skate?
Dude, just skate, bro. That's why
Dude, I used to be nice at skating, bro. Motherfuckers had a little sponsorship back in the day, and then I got 6'3", and then it got a lot scarier, bro.
He says it's gorgeous here. Dude, when you coming back home, bro?
I
miss you, to be honest. He looks like Michael Aswell. I'm being
looks like a tough motherfucker.
He hates when I call him that. I even called him during the stream. He's like, "Yo, Michael Aswell, you good? I know you lost your fight, but you should have been streaming when you was fighting." He says, "I'm 5'6", so I'm good. You're back home Tuesday? Say less, bro. Give me a call when you're back home. I want to hear about all your trip there." Yeah, but Skate, you missed the whole card. You missed the whole card preview. It wasn't that great, you know, because I'm a casual.
Me too.
Anyways, I think we're gonna wrap it up soon, right?
Yeah, I'm down. We got a little. Now I'm just getting you look like this guy now. Yeah, it was a nice little breakdown. I mean, we have a decent card. I mean, it is what it is. I wish it started earlier, 6 p.m. 9 p.m. is a little bit late for this main card, but there's some low-key bangers. The main card's fire for the most part. Some sneaky prelims as well. I think it'll be an entertaining card. You know, sometimes the ones that look a little weaker on paper could be some pretty solid, violent, entertaining bangers. Have a good one, Skatesman.
Peace out, Brody. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, so it'll be good. I'm super excited for Calvin Kattar and Steve Garcia, and then I'm equally as excited for Landwehr and Charriere. I think it's going to be a pretty solid fight. Landwehr's a lock. Shout out to America. Let's fucking go, dude.
Yeah, I ain't touching that bet. I think Morgan's going to win.
Yeah, maybe. But, I'm going to be rooting for my boy. That's for damn sure.
Landwehr's a lock. Shout out America.
Big boy.
They are fighting in Tennessee, right? This is home. Isn't that his home state?
Oh, yeah, bro. He might have some extra power.
Hold on.
The narrative bet.
All right, Nate Landwehr's back on the parlay.
I mean, shit. Throw a little sprinkle, have a little excitement. It's going to be a war, so that one will definitely get the blood flowing if you're a D-Gen.
Dude, if you put $5 on that 3-pick parlay, that's $837. Why not?
Yeah, fuck it.
$10 will win. $10 will win you $1,600. You guys could lose $10.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, am I willing to lose $10? What was I gonna? Who names their son Morgan? Like dead ass. I actually know a kid named Morgan. He's a savage wrestler.
Bro, who names that kid Tuco?
Yeah, it's true. I think they named him George though, but you know, Tuco Salamanca.
And then you got Junior Thompson, whose name is Pascal. Kidding. All right, Mike, I think it's time to wrap it up.
That is crazy, Pascal. Yeah, you already know. Hey, if you're still here or if you're watching this later, you know, we got CST on all platforms right at the bottom of the screen. CS Today News is the @ we're dropping content. We're going to get more consistent. We've been joining multiple times this week, looking to get after it. Fight breakdown next week with me and Nick. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and of course, YouTube. Like and subscribe, throw a follow, share with your friends if they're looking to get more news, all things MMA. We got it all right here. Shout out to Big Phil, the man who orchestrates the operation, and then guys like me who help along as well. It's always a good stream. Thank you to all the guys in the chat too. Appreciate the likes and appreciate the input in the chat during the stream. It definitely makes it very fun to do. So we appreciate you guys.
You guys are my favorite people, man. You guys come hang out with us when we're doing these live streams. You know, we're trying to be consistent with it. I'm on vacation this week, so I don't know how it's going to be after this, but like if I can do a little earlier, because I like to get my sleep in. Mike has a random schedule, to be honest, but we try to get that, try to be on our best to get our live streams up. So hopefully we can get at least 2 live streams. I know Mike and Nick do the betting props every week, so maybe I'll get in one maybe on Sundays for recaps, maybe on Monday or Tuesday for recaps. I don't know how the schedule is going to be, but we'll see. Appreciate you.
Sunday recaps, Tuesday for the betting breakdown. Maybe throw something in on Monday or Thursday. Get at least 3 in a week would be awesome.
Shit, I would love to do live streams, but I'm not. Mike likes to chill with the boys, so I don't want to do it by myself. That's just me.
I can always. This next coming card, we could probably fuck around and do a live stream for the fights.
I'm watching Superman, so
you know
me. Every time I'm doing something, every time I leave the house, oh, where'd you going? I'm going to the movies, bro. I love the movies. I'm gonna be watching Superman, and I'm gonna watch Fantastic Four. I forgot a couple other movies too.
Shout out Fight Talk Only as well, and I'm going to see 28 years later on Tuesday with the boys. So
I heard mixed reviews.
I hope it's good, man. I love the first 2. So
hey, maybe another stream to Saturday if you're available, because I don't think I have really anything planned for Saturday.
Yeah, I probably can on Saturday for sure. I'm not doing shit, so
we'll go with that. All right, guys. I'm Phil. That's Mike. We're CST. Like, subscribe, follow us everywhere at CS Today News. Peace.
Let's go.